Steam is going crazy with open world games right now. Some of the biggest open world adventures on Steam are heavily discounted, with deals going all the way up to 95% off. So if you're looking for a huge world to explore, a great story to get lost in, and some seriously good deals, you definitely don't want to miss this list. We're starting with Far Cry 5, which is currently 85% off, and honestly, this is one of those open world games that can keep you busy for hours. You play as a rookie deputy who gets sent to Montana to arrest the leader of a dangerous cult, but things go wrong almost immediately and you end up trapped in Hope County. The great thing about Far Cry 5 is how much freedom the open world gives you. You can drive across the countryside, explore small towns, hunt animals, find hidden locations, or just forget about the main story and see what happens. And there are so many ways to approach combat. You can sneak into enemy camps, take enemies out from a distance, use a bow, bring your own companions, or simply walk in with a machine gun and cause complete chaos. The story also gets much more interesting as you start meeting the different members of the cult. Each part of Hope County has its own atmosphere, characters, and missions, so the world constantly gives you something new to discover. And because the map is completely open, you never really know what you're going to run into next. You might be driving down a quiet road and suddenly get attacked by cultists, or you might find a random location that turns into an entire side adventure. At 85% off, Far Cry 5 is a fantastic choice if you want a big open world, plenty of action, and a story that keeps giving you reasons to explore. And next, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands and Ghost Recon Breakpoint are both 95% off. If you want a huge open world that you can explore with your friends, this is one of the best deals in the entire list. Both games are tactical shooters, but they give you a massive amount of freedom in how you play. In Wildlands, you travel across Bolivia and take down a powerful drug cartel. You can drive across the map, fly helicopters, use boats, sneak into enemy bases, and complete missions in almost any way you want. And playing with friends makes the whole experience even better. You can plan an attack together, mark targets, coordinate your shots, and silently take down an entire enemy camp. Or you can completely forget the plan and turn the mission into absolute chaos. Breakpoint takes the same idea and moves it to a huge island controlled by a private military force. The atmosphere is darker and the game puts more emphasis on survival and tactical combat. Both games give you massive maps filled with missions, side activities, hidden locations, and plenty of reasons to keep exploring. And with a 95% discount, it's hard to find a better deal if you and your friends want a massive open world to get lost in. Up next, Assassin's Creed Origins is currently 85% off, and this is one of the best open world games in the series if you're looking for a huge world and a great story. You play as Bayek, a Medjay living in ancient Egypt. His personal story begins with revenge, but it slowly grows into something much bigger as you uncover the origins of the Assassin Brotherhood, and the setting is absolutely incredible. You can explore massive cities, ancient temples, deserts, villages, and the pyramids of Egypt. You can ride across the desert on horseback, sail down the Nile, climb some of the most famous monuments in history, or simply wander around and see what you discover. The world is also packed with side quests, hidden locations, tombs, and secrets, and unlike many open world games, the side quests often have their own stories and memorable characters, so exploring the map never feels like you're just checking boxes. The combat was also completely redesigned for Origins, with a more action-focused system, different weapons, armor, and skills to unlock as you level up. If you want an open world that combines exploration, history, action, and a strong story, Assassin's Creed Origins is an excellent choice at 85% off. Moving on, Metro Exodus is currently 85% off, and if you want an open world with a much darker atmosphere, this one is absolutely worth checking out. You play as Artyom, traveling across post-apocalyptic Russia with a group of survivors. Instead of spending the entire game underground, Metro Exodus takes you outside into huge open areas filled with abandoned towns, forests, deserts, and dangerous creatures, and the world feels incredibly alive. You never know what you're going to find while exploring. You might discover an abandoned building with useful supplies, stumble across a group of enemies, or find a completely optional location with its own little story. The game also puts a lot of focus on survival. Ammunition and resources can be limited, so you can't always just run into every fight with your weapons blazing. Sometimes it's much smarter to stay quiet, sneak around enemies, and save your resources for when you really need them. What makes Metro Exodus even better is its story. You're not simply traveling from one location to another. You're following Artyom and his crew as they search for a new place to call home. The characters, atmosphere, and changing environments make the journey feel like one long adventure. If you enjoy post-apocalyptic worlds, exploration, and story story-driven games, Metro Exodus is a fantastic deal at 85% off. And next, Tom Clancy's The Division 2 is currently 75% off. And this is a great choice if you want a massive open world that you can keep exploring for a very long time. The game takes you to Washington, D.C. after a devastating pandemic has pushed the city into complete chaos. You'll explore streets, abandoned buildings, underground locations, and enemy-controlled areas while trying to help rebuild the city. The world is filled with missions, side activities, hidden locations, loot, and random encounters, so there's always something happening while you're exploring. And this is another game that becomes even more fun when you play with friends. You can team up, take on stronger enemies, clear enemy bases, and work together to complete missions. Each player can also build their character differently, so you can focus on different weapons and abilities. The shooting feels satisfying, the loot system gives you plenty of reasons to keep playing, and the open world is packed with things to discover. If you want a game that can keep you and your friends busy for dozens of hours, The Division 2 is definitely worth checking out at 75% off. Up next, Watch Dogs is currently 75% off, and if you want an open world where you can really mess with the city around you, this one is still a lot of fun. You play as Aiden Pierce, a hacker who can control almost everything connected to Chicago's central network, and that's what makes the open world so interesting. Traffic lights, security cameras, bridges, phones, power systems, and even other people's devices can all become part of your gameplay. You can hack a traffic light to cause a crash, shut down the power to an entire area, or use security cameras to scout an enemy location before you even get there. The story follows Aiden as he tries to find the people responsible for a tragedy that changed his life. But as you dig deeper into the city's surveillance system, you start uncovering a much bigger conspiracy, and the city itself feels like part of the game. You can walk through busy streets, explore different neighborhoods, take part in side activities, or simply use your hacking abilities to create your own chaos. It may be one of the older games on today's list, but the hacking mechanics still make it feel different from most open world games. At 75% off, Watch Dogs is definitely worth checking out if you want a story-driven open world with a unique gameplay mechanic. And next, Gothic Universe Edition is currently 75% off, and this is a completely different kind of open world RPG. Gothic takes you to a dangerous fantasy world where you start out as practically nobody. You're thrown into a mysterious prison colony surrounded by a magical barrier, and you quickly realize that surviving here won't be easy. The world doesn't simply wait for you to become powerful. Enemies can destroy you if you wander into the wrong area too early, and you'll have to learn where you can safely explore, which characters you can trust, and how to become stronger. What makes Gothic special is how much freedom it gives you. You can join different factions, develop your character in different ways, complete quests in different orders, and slowly discover what's really happening inside the colony. The game is definitely old, and the graphics and controls can take some time to get used to, but if you can get past that, you'll find a world with a huge amount of atmosphere and a surprisingly deep story. If you're looking for an old school RPG where the world doesn't hold your hand, Gothic Universe Edition at 75% off is absolutely worth a look. And finally, BIOMUTANT is currently 75% off, and if you want something a little more colorful and unusual, this open world adventure is definitely worth checking out. You play as a strange little martial arts expert in a world where humans are long gone and mutated creatures have taken over. The world is filled with forests, ruined cities, dangerous creatures, and strange characters. You can explore it on foot, use different vehicles, find hidden locations, and discover all kinds of unusual weapons. One of the coolest parts is the character customization. You can change your appearance, develop different abilities, and create your own fighting style. You can focus on melee combat, use guns, rely on special abilities, or mix everything together. The combat is also very flashy. You can combine melee attacks, shooting, dodging, and special powers to create your own combos. The story focuses on a world that's slowly falling apart, and your decisions can influence what happens to different parts of the world. It's not the most serious game on today's list, but if you want a colorful open world with plenty of exploration, customization, and unusual gameplay, BIOMUTANT is a fun choice at 75% off. And that's it for today's best open world games on Steam. From the huge world of Far Cry 5 and Ghost Recon to ancient Egypt in Assassin's Creed Origins and the post-apocalyptic world of Metro Exodus, there's something here for almost every type of open world fan. Let me know in the comments which game you're picking up, and if there's another great open world deal I missed, drop it down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Steam Steam deals, huge discounts, and the best games worth checking out every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.